Hello, everybody. My name is Marvin Smith, and welcome to the first episode of the SMB Corner Podcast, where myself, MSP provider, and other tech individuals like my buddy Olaiya right here, we talk to you about cybersecurity and basically to let you know the net is getting scary and you got to protect yourself. So I just want to talk a little bit about what I saw last year as far as spamming, attempts ransomware. Like it was during November, like around November, December, that's when the emails start getting heavy. I saw a lot of spam coming in, saw a lot of phishing attempts. It was getting crazy. I know in the media, you've seen ransomware got oil pipeline company or oil company got hit with ransomware. They were forced to pay it. Me personally, I wouldn't do something like that. But again, you realize that big companies like that, they don't have the necessary skill set and they don't have the right people. Like the average cybersecurity individual, depending on how good he is, he's asking for at least maybe $250,000 or more in salary. And we understand that the average business can't really afford to keep somebody like that on. So I looked at it like this. I wanted to start a podcast to just get talking to small business owners. Like it's not so much, we understand money is tight, but you have to look at your data as basically it's my goal, this how I function day to day. It's what keeps my business alive. So I need to put some things in place, like a level 1 or level 2 solution in place to keep ransomware out and, just to keep my business secure. So last year definitely was crazy. Pandemic. We're still in a pandemic, but it was just basically crazy because everything was moving online. I guess hackers realized there was not a lot of business didn't have the necessary, tools in place to get everything secure. So, but the level of complexity in emails, ransomware, and phishing, I gotta say I got to give my hat to certain hackers. They're getting good. The level and detail is getting good. But still, you still got to secure yourself. Still got to make sure you just have some kind of level 1, level 2 solution in place. Like, you want to touch base on that?
I would say this has been going on for at least 2 to 3 years. I picked up on it ahead of time because I allowed myself to become the guinea pig. At first, they were targeting the home.
Yeah.
And the way they were going about these things, it was something that if you're not well versed in with how to detect or discern or to pick up the clues, then you get hit. For example, the browser jokes that we have when you click on one of these links and all of a sudden it said that you got, I won't say sabotage, I'm looking for the right word for it. You got compromised and you need to call the XYZ. Now,
yeah. I've seen
now
those.
The fake Microsoft support. I became the guinea pig and trying to figure out how they operate. I first got attacked a few times, but I allowed it to happen and see how to. I want to be familiar with it.
Yeah.
The moment I know they want to go to my registry, trying to lock down my PC, I shut everything down. I already had a backup, so I was good. That's number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, I already knew what off the back. Microsoft would never call anybody to tell you that you've been compromised. But how many regular users knows that? Because we in the country that, I hate to say this, they don't like to read. Everything on social media, they follow it and they believe the nonsense. So after a couple of back and forth trying without them and other YouTubers, even one in particular recorded the whole stat. He went viral about how they doing the hacking. Then at first I thought it would gain traction, but it didn't get traction. My mother-in-law got caught last year. And when my wife told me this, I was livid. I told her, tell her to shut down the laptop now. I screamed at my wife like I never did before while she's on the phone with her mom. Tell her down, didn't listen to me. And until they found out my mother-in-law had to pay extra amount of money to them, and I was pissed off with her because for one, I helped her purchase that laptop. 2, I helped her build it up. 3, I had it on my internet security package. Like, I noticed it's been a very annoying trend. People don't go to the real people they need to go to for the advice for tech-related issue, but go to somebody else completely. I'm kind of like, and this happened not only on the user level, but happened on the corporate level because
that is true.
I've been at about all these cybersecurity companies that people are paying so much money for. And there was other out there been there for years that have been truly tested. Like, for example, AVG. I've been with AVG for almost 18 years.
Yeah.
For freelancing, you know, the people PC had to go to wipe out the viruses from the ransomware to the spyware from the NAFTA day to the LimeWire days to the ForceWire days. Right, come on. Yeah. I got battle tested with these things. I got to catch on to what's going on. I tested with the Defender, I tested McAfee, and I tested AVG. So I could compare in all these three main ones. And AVG have been on the top, even though with the free version. They always compare the free version of AVG with all the other competitors out there, but never compared the paid one. For years, I was wondering why, not realizing the paid version was a lot much stronger than the competition. So I'm like, I see. They'll never test the paid version, but always test the free version. I get that. Okay, cool. So I caught on to it. Then I tried to speak to other small business owners, but they never want to take it serious. I'm like, why is that? What's going on? Because, Synaptic, McAfee, they have the main United States market in their grab. So not too many people know about these other ones out there that do way better job because they don't really read up or research like some of us do. So I caught on to that. Fine. The spamware, I've been on top of that game for 3 years. I remember when Yahoo got hacked several times over. I had to move my email from Yahoo to Google Mail, aka Gmail. They forced me to move. My first email account was yahoo.com. And I had a couple of other ones I was just playing around testing their features about to Yahoo for so many years. Then I had to move all my email account from Yahoo to Google. Imagine that. You know what time it takes to migrate all your emails? That's a lot of work.
So what I think I want to kind of put off, talk to a lot of business owners about, like, when a major company gets hacked or, when they get breached, a lot of people in the tech field like myself, like you, me, Olaiya, we look at that as like, a stain on the brand. Like you're making so much money as a major corporation, like you still get hit with a ransomware. But yes, things happen, but we being in the tech field, we're looking like, really? And it's not even really a major hack. It's just like, something got in through a corporate email. Yes, it does happen, but at the end of the day, it's just like that stain is on your brand and it's just no way to get rid of it. But it's just at the end of the day, I just see like in 2022 right now, I've already read headlines of, schools being hacked and breached and things like that. I think one MSP, I don't want to say they're MSP, but they provide service. They provide service to schools, like, from K to 12. So it came up in one of my news feeds the other day that they got hit with a ransomware and it basically took down their servers for maybe a few days, 1 or 2 days. But again, I just want to stress this out to, the business owner. It's going to get worse. This is just, I see this as just, a few hackers putting their toe in the water, see what they could get away with. And, it's just going to get worse. But I basically took steps last year to kind of, secure my business emails, lock down certain things. Even though as a tech guy, you look at it as, I'm pretty up on everything, but I'm not going to get hacked. So no, I didn't think that way. I just basically started taking steps to, lock down I pretty much use Microsoft 365 as my business email production environment. I took steps to lock it down. If I work with an outside vendor, I no longer talk to them on Skype. I pretty much, shift everything to Microsoft Teams because when you talk to them through Microsoft Teams, there's certain things that's limited. They can't send you links. They can't send you, documents. You basically have to be the one to kind of share a Google, a Google link, Google Docs link, something like that. So those are the steps that I took, started encrypting my emails. So there's a lot of things that you could put in place you don't have to look at it like, oh, I don't have the money to hire a cybersecurity expert. No, there are tools out there to give you genuine good protection. You just have to start talking to people like myself and start putting things in place. So I wanted to talk about that service provider for K schools that got hacked. Again, like we were just talking about major corporations that get breached and hacked. As a service provider, I think I basically look at that as a no-no. You should never be breached, never be hacked, because one, you're the go-to person for that business. You know, if you get hacked or breached, that shows that you didn't have the security needed to provide your service. So it's just, I know other MSPs, I've heard other MSPs out there who got hacked. And to me, that's even worse when you're a service provider and you got hacked. It's just, I don't know. I just look at that as like, yeah. What happened? What's going on? You're providing a service for other business, but you got hacked. And I don't know. I just feel things like that is just funny to me. But again, you gotta be, I'm a firm believer in just, I use what I sell. I'm a first tester. I evaluate it. I figure out ways how to get around it. Then I talk to that company and say, hey, I did this, and this. I think you should strengthen this a little bit more. Other service providers, I don't know. Maybe they're just, hey, I'm an IT guy. I'm not looking at getting hacked. So, but again, you can't think like that. You just gotta, if you're secure, then your clients are secure. I know you were talking about viruses and things like that. I remember when the FBI, I think, ransomware virus came out. I wanted to test it out. I wanted to try it. So I infected my PC. It was a test PC. So I infected my PC. I wanted to see how it works, how to get rid of it, you know, what things it does. Those were back in the day. Like, I think that's one of the things when you're in the tech field is just, you got to test things. You've got to go through that process of getting that ransomware, getting that virus to see how to better counter it, to say. But yeah, I do from time to time play with certain viruses, see what it could do to my PC. But these days, my PC is a little bit more secure. I could run things in a VM, test it out, and see how to beat it. So I'm going to share my screen and show people what a live threat map looks like.
What's the problem? Because I'm just jealous when you say you got a live threat map. My app don't have that, but I wish they did have that. But
certain websites, you could go to their main. I think Bitdefender has one. Sonic Wall has one.
I think AVG had one, but I never check at it, because since I have a suite of apps, and it's like about 7 of them, and they all got different functionality. I got the internet security, I got the driver update, I got the breach guard, I got the AVG anti-track, I got a password protector, I got the AVG secure VPN, I got the AVG tune-up, and on top of that, I also had LastPass. LastPass is the right tool to have. I had to pay.
LastPass is good. It's good.
Allow me to change all my password to have it encrypted, and I lock it up, and no one can go behind my back. And I have a 2-point security activation. I use the Google Authenticator. Yeah. It's a great tool to have, because I'll be honest, it's more like I say, I told you so. For more than a decade, one corporation, they're very passive. Let's be real.
Yeah, I know. It's just, I feel like a lot of virus companies, they don't do their best to advertise. Because I remember one incident. It's not really an incident, but during the beginning of the pandemic, my 9-to-5, they were pushing everybody to work from home. Basically, you had to push everybody to work from home. One user, basically, she was trying to get her work machine connected to her home Wi-Fi. And the situation was she didn't update her Netgear router since she bought it. So, I'm there, I'm trying to connect our secure work laptop to her home Wi-Fi, to a router that hasn't been upgraded or upgraded in any way since she bought it. So yeah, that was a headache.
I can imagine that, because a lot of my users work in the corporate America.
Yeah.
And I tell them, you don't have a geek, a PT nerd on speed dial? She said, why? I'm like, you asking me why?
Yeah.
One day you have 911. You should have
911.
You should have a geek on speed dial just in case a situation like these.
It's 911 is 24/7. I mean, it's good to have a good tech guy, but you got to figure out, like, the average tech guy wants to get some sleep too. So,
and I get that, because here's what I'm trying to say, because there's a lot of these fake tech guys out there that claim they know what they're doing and they don't know how they're doing. And
that's true.
For my years of freelancing, I have been battle tested. I've been proven correct to the point whereby I was proving I'm better than Best Buy Geek Squad.
Uh-huh.
And I had to educate people over the the stories I hear, or the disappointment I hear. They went to this guy, they went to that guy, they went to Best Buy, they went to this company, and they still couldn't fix the problem. But when it comes to me, not only did I fix the problem, I cleaned up the mess, rectified the issue, and I explained what went down, and told them next time, don't wait till the last minute to reach out to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
20 years in the field. I've been in the field for 20 years, not just corporately, but also freelancing.
Yeah.
So I love what I do. It's so much fun doing these things.
Yeah.
But when people don't understand what's going on, even I'm watching the live map, I'm like, we're getting light up like the damn Christmas tree. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So the podcasters who are going to see this maybe on YouTube or on my Instagram. So right now we're looking at a real, I don't want to say real time, but this is what a threat map looks like. So if you see on the screen, the US and the UK, and I'll say India and Brazil. So right now, just the US alone is just getting bombarded with, attempted attacks. These are not real time attacks. These are just, attempted penetration attacks to see what's going on. US is the first, UK is the second, and pretty much this is consistent with all this. This map is from Sonic Wall, but let's go to FireEye. That's basically gonna do the same thing. It's just gonna take some time to load. So yeah, as you can see, the US does get hit a lot. UK is the second. We see some stuff going on in China. Let's see, Saudi Arabia, nothing really crazy there. Let's look at Bitdefender. So again, we could see definitely the US is getting bombarded over and over again on every threat map you look at.
And here's the thing about all this. As you watch these live map of all these cyber attacks going on, US is number one for a lot of corporations out here whereby they have, I don't want to say it, but this is true. We have some outdated tech that have not been updated their knowledge on these things. They got complacent, they got lazy about it. This happened in corporations, this happened in the school, either being university or high schools or elementary school. It's because they don't feel like they don't need to update their knowledge. Now, it wasn't for my younger brother who challenged me about almost a decade ago. It's like, how often do you read up on the content changing IT and the technology? And I was like, you know what? You caught me off guard. I needed that wake-up call because of that challenge, I thought to read up every now and then of the change that being made on the cybersecurity application in the tech world, what being pushed out there. So I try to subscribe to as many newsletters as possible. Sometimes I watch live feed of their tech show when they showing these new product, what it does, what the functions, and I try to analyze as a tech professional, see if this function is needed or it's not needed, if it's being wasteful or not. These are the things as the IT professional, we had to literally put ourselves on that mindset. We had to be up to date every day.
Oh, of course.
By all means necessary. You cannot be an IT professional and not know what the new thing that's out there. Either be mobile phone, even PC hardware, cybersecurity, software, whatever it may be. You have to be on top of it.
Yeah.
There's no excuses.
Yeah.
And we come across techs who are so far behind, not even a few days. I'm talking about a few years behind. And they complacent because they're on their ego and their pride. Like, how you operate? You're paying how much? $250,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year for you to protect the company, and you didn't realize you need to update your knowledge about this thing by now?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I mean, I think it's just basically, you can't force somebody to constantly be better. Being knowledgeable and being better, I think that's just the individual themselves. Like, you can't force that on anybody else. It has to be in them to constantly be better. So, but I've come across working with freelance techs that are, you know, when you talk to them about their knowledge, they're pretty behind. But again, you can't fault them, because at the end of the day, you know, you don't know what's going on in their head. So sometimes staying on point and staying up to date on certain things, maybe they just don't want to do it. You know,
it's not that they don't want to do it. Let's put it like this. This is the field that I joined because it keeps your brain fresh and active.
Exactly.
It keeps you moving.
Exactly.
And that's what I love about it. But people join this field for the sake of the money, not for the sake of the passion.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
We got too many saturation of fake techs in our field who are not passionate about what we're doing for a living. I love what I do. That's why I got a good job that pays me well. So before and foremost, every job I go into, you know me, Marvin. I was a road killer. I would put a huge number on migration. Everybody like, how I'm doing it? It's what I love to do.
Yeah.
When you got passion, you start to do things that people think is unnatural. Like that popular, you can do such a thing in a short amount of time. No, it's not the case. When you passionate about what you do, you find innovative way to make your job look easy and have fun with it.
Exactly. That's definitely what it's all about. I love tech, because this is the only arena of skill set where you're constantly growing, you're constantly testing and playing around with different technologies.
You feel like a kid again every day.
Yeah, definitely every day you feel like a kid again. So I mean, but again, it's just, I don't know what it is. I think it's just today's techs are just not. I don't know.
They're money driven. They're not passion driven. That's the problem. So they feel like, I don't need to update myself. I don't need to upgrade myself. And that's why I'm not gonna lie. I used to hate on the YouTubers who are upgrading themselves each and every day, and they're making a good money off them because it's what they love to do.
Yeah.
I wish I jumped on the bandwagon when they came out back in 2008, 2009. I would have done the same thing, and not come to corporation into the point whereby I'm a big YouTube channel who get vetted by big corporations who want me to test their stuff and make an objective opinion about their products. And I tell them the pros and the cons, because this is what these YouTubers make their bread off. They constantly have the opportunity to test drive these new technologies, these new gadgets, these new software, and get an objective opinion on the pros and cons. And then you make your choice based on what I'm saying. You don't have to take my word for it. You can try other YouTubers who tested out even further than what I did. And they give you their point of view. This is what makes a great community that we have today. We have people who are now showing the light. And this is what a person who is passionate, what they love to do. They take their animate time to test drive, to check out, to make note of, and let you know why this is good, why it's not good, why you should buy it, why you should not buy it, why you should try, why you should not try it, and give you an intellectual opinion that will make you make a better choice. I love this field. Come on, besides being a doctor, I don't like blood, I don't like organs, I stay away from that one. I'd rather do this instead. It keep you know what happens when you have an active brain and you're always learning new things? There's never a dull moment.
Oh, of course.
Your brain's not dying. Guess what, guys? It keeps you from dementia.
Yeah, that is true. Active brain does keep dementia away. So I know we touched base about, you know, that MSP, that service provider. I don't want to call them an MSP, that provide for schools K-12 and up. But when I was thinking about it, I never realized that the amount of data a school has. Because if you think about it, you have the students, you have progress reports, report cards, things like that. You want me to stop, or?
I get what you're saying, because working with the Board of Ed and Dell in the past, back in 2004, 2005, something I noticed about these schools, they don't have the huge amount of funding like private organizations will have. So they're limited to what they have, what they can use, what they can purchase. So you can imagine if they would approach an MSP, don't have proper security that will protect them, but don't think much of a big deal of it until they get hit hard. What happens?
That's true. I remember back in the day when I worked for a nonprofit school, they didn't have the biggest budget, but yet they had the room to get the biggest budget. But it all came down to what they needed it for. You know, the person up top who's approving the budget, that school had to basically, make the assessment, say, hey, security is one of our priorities now. So we've got to purchase tools or, find some solution to secure data. Because if you think about it, you have the average student has how many data points, that's constantly changing. Report card grades, progress reports, what else? Parent teacher notes, things like that. And
online learning now on top of that too as well.
Online learning now.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because during the pandemic, a lot of these public schools were not prepared. They were not. They didn't have techs who on par how to walk them through, how to get them set up whereby you can still run a classroom the way you can go about it, and not that hard.
Yeah.
But imagine multiple schools across the country that were clueless.
Yeah.
Literally clueless. So how you have these techs on standby and don't know how to educate people, and they are not on top of it themselves. I was telling my wife, look at my daughter's school. They weren't prepared how to run an online learning process. Only a very few teachers who are tech savvy because they have families or family friends who run the game to let them know what they can do, what they cannot do with each setup. And they were on top of it like what is doing man been. They were running this so super smooth that they went viral with their setup. But many of the teachers don't know what the heck what they were doing. So imagine that. Imagine that going on today.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, true. Like, I think a lot of teachers weren't ready for online learning. Caught a lot of them off guard. But
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't think they were ready. They didn't think it would be a big deal. Because some of these let's be real, some of these teachers were taking online university class.
Yeah.
Let's think about it right now. A lot of these teachers know there's online classes on university level. But never thought it would come down to the elementary school, middle school, and high school level. That's what they were thinking. They're like, okay, I'm glad we can only do it in university. We don't have to do it in the high school level because they'll think it's too complicated. Little they know, it hit them hard and they need to have it done.
Yeah.
They wasn't ready for it.
Yeah. True. Yeah. A lot of schools weren't ready for the online learning aspect. I remember, definitely during not backstage, but last year when everybody went to, I don't want to say their name, that online video platform.
Zoom.
Yeah. A lot of their sessions were getting hacked. So.
And then the reason behind it, because you can't blame it on Zoom, and you can't blame it on any other, I forget the name want to call it. Here's the problem. Using the application, using the service, they have their own security, but you also have your own as well.
Yeah.
Now, if they would have hacked your classroom, it depends on what kind of security setup you have to prevent it from happening.
Yeah.
That's what the problem. Zoom got hurt because of that, and they had to fix the security. There was WebEx out there. There was Skype/Team. Team decided to come out more hard because of the fact that they needed it more than ever. Before that, Skype for business, Skype was somewhat secure, but you could only be secure based on what kind of security stuff you have on your PC. Same with WebEx. WebEx was no different.
Yep.
The problem with WebEx, they built their infrastructure way ahead of the game to prevent that from happening because WebEx is under Cisco. And Cisco got the money for their security.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can't knock that one. When I watch my kids, and my mother-in-law, she's a school teacher. She used Zoom, and I was like, what's up with these schools? Like, no one get on top of these things? Like, what's the problem? This is why, as an IT professional, I was like, you know how many IT techs are out there they could have called up or could have reached out to you? What can I do to resolve this issue? How you go about it? How you not? No one doing that. They thought the one they have on standby know the heck what they're doing, and guess what? They were clueless themselves at times. Scrambling, trying to figure out how to resolve the problem.
Yeah, definitely.
I got a lot of stories, trust me. Stuff I be hearing about what's going on in these schools these days, why they were getting hacked, what's happening, what's happening. You know, they're giving out the devices and everything. Like my son and daughter, were giving an iPad. Not too a fan of iPad, but it's okay what it is. Then the charter school was giving out Chromebooks. I was like,
Yeah.
Charter school give out Chromebook, but public school give out iPad. Okay.
Because they you get that the education discount from Apple.
Pretty much.
So, which is, it's okay, but it's just at the end of the day, it's just you got to make sure every device or set of devices in your environment is secure also.
Very much true.
I'm going to share some spam emails I saved from last year. No, because a lot of this stuff is like, when you look at the overall design is, it's thought out. I got to say it's thought out, but
I won't say it's thought out. It was just, they practically monitor people if they can catch on to it. And they find out America is the country, they don't catch on to anything at all. They just brush off. And some of these spam, if you were dealing with spam email for a good couple of years, you can almost pick up on what it is and what it's not.
It's true.
That's what the thing. Because when you keep on testing yourself, you try to realize how they try to change the wording, they try to change the look, trying to be somewhat authentic. Then the corporations start to realize, they're not having, guess what? A lot of corporations are doing classes for all their users and tech. If you don't take these classes, you get like a warning. You have to take the class. You have to know how to catch spicy email. You have to know how to catch that. You know what to do, what you do in case it happens. You click on that tab on your Outlook where you say it's splicing. It will lock it up. Send it out to the security team, and they can monitor it themselves and see what it is, and from there they put it on a block.
I think there was an incident with Twitter. I don't know. I think it was a kid who called up and doxed the company. The kid pretended to be an employee of Twitter to get information from another employee of Twitter. Hey, it's
keyword, a kid. If you phrase that again, a kid. It takes a kid to fool a grown up how dumb you really are.
Hey, it is what it is. But it's just, but like you're saying, I think a lot of companies now, they put that training out there, but it's not enforced. Like, I don't know about other companies, but I know my 9 to 5, we have something like that. Every so often, you gotta take these mandatory, refresh. Even if you're IT, you gotta take it, and it does go against your employee record.
And the reason why they do that, but let me put it, bigger companies that got the money to do that, they will enforce it. As you go down the rank of the money supply, some don't enforce it. Public sector really enforce it. Sometimes they send you an email notification, or you need to take this class. And what I noticed working in the public sector, these people would have put their email to the side and they ignore it until it become a big problem. I work with MTA, yet I'm going to put their name out there. They had a WannaCry attack back in 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
It was that bad. And they're using Citrix box. The Citrix black box, these didn't have what are called the embedded Windows system in there. That went from going to embedded to get ThinOS. Because ThinOS, you can't hack into it. So we had to, talk about almost 2,000 to 5,000 boxes all across the 5 boroughs.
Wow. Okay. Really? MTA's got a bandwidth issue?
Majority of their bandwidth goes straight to the signal boxes, the signals for the train. But they go into where the facility they need to have. So I'm putting them on the bus. They need to work on their plan and what they need for their company, because when you have these things going on where we trying to put a lot of these stuff on the cloud, you need a high level bandwidth to support that many machines on the cloud. If not, you just going to throw a bottom like the damn highway, the B2E, whereby you can sit there, watch a whole TV show before your car can move, kind of thing.
So MTA doesn't have like a...
They got the bandwidth, but it's not being put where it's needed.
Okay.
It goes to mostly the signals that run the trains and everything, because when I go to the facility like these offices space, the bandwidth speed is so bad. Imagine someone log in, haven't got into yet, they can go out, have a breakfast, have a conversation 30 minutes later, or not 30 minutes, a few hours later, you haven't loaded the desktop.
Really? That long for a login? Jeez.
And you log into the cloud, mind you. Damn. Not to the PC, to the cloud.
To the cloud. Wow. Yikes.
The emphasis on that is not taken serious, because the American workforce is passive, not active.
Yeah, some that's true. Some tech guys are not active. They're reactive. They'll wait for a situation to come in, then plan for it the next time. But at that stage, it's too late.
Pretty much.
It's too late.
You said it correctly. It's too late. Wait for something to happen. You get them the upper hand. You are doomed. You eat it out of their hand now. While you trying to plan, they're watching you already like, man, whatever you planning, you still knock it down because you didn't get yourself prepared.
Yeah.
That's the problem. They were not prepared for it.
That's what's up, yeah.
Look at Sony. It took them 100 years before they got hacked. The moment they got hacked, it changed the whole ballgame and the whole Sunday. They're like, you know what? It took them a while to hack Sony, but quick to hack Xbox. That quick.
But again, like I was saying, it's like when you're a major corporation and you get hacked and breached, I mean, it looks bad. Like, I wouldn't figure Sony to be the one who gets hacked.
But if they did, they were fighting it for a while. It's just that they got real smart about it. It took them years before they hacked Sony. When they hacked Sony, their whole entire tech team, they were like, okay, they're getting smarter now. Now you got to go a step and above.
Yeah.
Because of that, they changed the game of security. It was actually like a war going on. So they were working around the clock fighting it.
Yeah.
Because they thought they could never get hacked because they thought they had a very great tight lock security. And they someone figured it out and it got in. And that's what it forced everybody to say, no, we need to start bringing people who can work around the clock. You had the type of job when people work in 12-hour shifts who will monitor these things. And they get paid for that, but it's tiring. 12-hour shift to monitor the system and see when something happens, just react immediately.
Yeah.
Man, not an easy job.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of people don't realize, like, hackers, they're not attacking at a certain time frame. They're attacking when, the average person is about ready to clock off and go do what they got to do. That's when they're coming alive. So you're talking about, I'm up, 6 a.m. in the morning sometimes. The average person is up at 8. He's working till, 5 or whatever. Then that one email comes in and says, hey, you forgot to pay us or something like that. After a long day of work, you're not thinking about who this email is from or what this email is trying to do. You're like, oh, who did I forget to pay? Something like that. You're a small business owner. So you're like, who did I forget to pay? So you click on it, takes you somewhere else. And then all of a sudden, you've got ransomware that pops up on your machine. So I'm going to I have email addresses that are just out there for stuff like this, ransomware and spam email. So this is one that came in. This is supposedly from Apple ID. So yeah. Now don't get me wrong, this is the style is pretty simple, but just by looking at it,
obvious. The email address.
Yes, this is not from Apple. But again, something like this could switch up, could catch a person. You click on that link right there, it takes you someplace else. You can see that link it has a tracker embedded into it. So,
and that's the problem. How many people are educating themselves? Because if a big company tell me email, the first time I look at the email address, it doesn't match up. I'm like, spam. But regular people don't think about that. Oh, Apple.
Exactly. You see the Apple ID, but the first thing you got to do is look at this email address right here. This doesn't look like an Apple email ID, email address, basically.
Don't even try to get close to the company name. But are you familiar with the company email format and how it come about? You can tell, like, nah, stop the capping. That's not from Apple.
Exactly. So I'm going to share another one that's pretty close. Let's see. I think I got one from a so-called bank. This one was from, they have the color and style of, so we're in New York here, and we have, I believe CVS is a pharmacy chain here. So this email came close to their whole design style. So it's basically, hey, click on this link for a reward or something like that. But you could clearly tell this is not, again, you look at the email address. This email address does not look like it's a branded corporate, email. And then you go down to the bottom, there's something else here. So broken links. So again, the level of attacks are getting better. The design in the email is getting better, but I just want people to kind of just start realizing, hey, take a second to look at that email. Don't just click on something that randomly comes in. I had another one that came from a bank. I think it was Chase Bank. I'm trying to find it, but they got the design down, they got the style down, but it was just, if you just take a second look at it, you could tell that it's not from Chase or one of those banks. I'm trying to find it, but it is what it is. It's like, you've gotta be a little bit better, just take a look and see, take a second look at that email. All right. So this is on my Twitter. I'm going to share this because I posted it out there. There was an email chain that people were doing on spam emails. So this one is definitely, you got the Citibank logo. They got the design down, but again, you look at that email that it came from and info@smoochiebaby.com. Again, that's not from Citibank.
Now, here's the thing. You open it in your Gmail, right?
No. So what I do, I don't open it in my Gmail. What I just do is I open the overall email in the email app that's on Microsoft, mail.com. I think the mail app.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just open it. I don't click on the link.
Here's the best part. When you open it on Outlook and they follow up in your spam folder, you ever notice it don't show the whole entire image. It'll show the whole code, everything blue.
Yeah.
Because it's not legit. I've been doing that for years. I caught on to it. I don't use the mail app.
Yeah.
I use the Outlook app because when it's not legit and you look at the right email, you can almost tell it got exposed for what it is. So that's how I know.
Yeah. Outlook is good like that. But this is just an email address I just put out there. This is one of I call my spam catcher emails. So it's just, again, it came in, what time did it came in? Came in at November 25th. It came in around 4 p.m. Again, the average time that the person is logging off, they're thinking that the average person is logging off. So it came in, first look, you see the Citibank logo. They got the design down. Second look, you basically got to look at that email address where it came from. That doesn't look like a legitimate email address from a major bank. So yeah, this is just one. I mean, I've got a whole pile of these that I just gotta get my hands down, get my hat down to them. Their hackers are getting better.
They're getting better.
They're getting better.
They know the average user are not tech savvy. This is where the problem is. I've said it for the past 15 years. So much new technology pumped out into the public, and people haven't got used to the old technology they were working on in the first place. So that when they get confused and not understand what the heck is going on, this is where you capitalize on their ignorance.
Yeah.
When they say ignorance is bliss, hacker enjoying the bliss. That too many people are ignorant to the fact that how they operate. And that's why they get caught left and right. Let's be real. It's more like I told you so. I'll be that crazy tech guy who been saying it for the past 10 years, 15 years, like, yo, y'all gonna get caught one day. When y'all get caught, it'll be like a boo-boo on your face.
Yeah, true. And I basically just feel like what I see happening right now is just, there's a lot of testing the waters. All of this is just, they're testing the waters. They're seeing what works, what doesn't work. But what I eventually see happening is, air quote, organizations teaming up, combining their payload to have an even greater attack. So imagine you got a spam phishing email with a ransomware payload attached to it. The average, I don't want to say the virus program, if it's good, might catch it, but if the program doesn't catch it, you're getting hit with a double whammy. You're getting hit with phishing and a ransomware payload attached to it. And then, some ransomwares are actually putting, botnets in the code. So yeah, it's getting crazy. They're getting better. And I only see this right now as once the probing phase is over, that's when we're just going to start getting hit with major attacks. So
trust me, I've been saying it for so long. That is why as an IT professional, as a PC enthusiast, it's one thing to be an IT professional, but when you're a computer enthusiast who like to build and customize PC, you do all type of crazy stuff, you try out different software. You want to protect your PC from any attack. You don't want to have the headache of trying to repair everything, put everything back what it used to be.
Yeah.
Now these days, having a 4 terabyte hard drive, it's not even enough. You need an 8 terabyte, you need a 16 terabyte, you need a 24 terabyte, because you know why? One for immediate, and you need a huge chunk for backup.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
As a guy who built PCs, who like to test out software here and there, PC gamer, etc., the average space for backup you need to have, I hate to say this, is between 8 to 16 terabytes. The reason why I say that, if you can have 2 separate external hard drives, one for backup and one for your media, that's what you need to do. Put all your picture, your video, whatever, on that one particular hard drive. On the other hard drive, that'll be the hard drive you do regular backups.
Yeah.
We'll take a copy of the last image of your PC in case of an attack. All you have to do is shut it down, put it back on, disconnect the network, unload the last update, the last copy you had onto your PC, and they keep it moving. But I know it's costly now. That's why I'm trying to educate people. Not only if you have a laptop, also if you have a desktop as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a test dummy for a reason. I do a lot of crazy things for a reason. To get a better understanding, it helped my job at the tech support when I work from home. That's my work set up right here. Well, I mean, my custom-made gaming PC. But it also allowed me to understand what to expect when they at least expecting happen. Corporations are going to be on top of the game, but for me, I ought to be on top of my game beforehand. So when I see something, I'm not going to be shocked, but I'm like, not new.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with this. That's why I do my homework on the side to stay up on the game.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's that cat and mouse game, you know. It's you either want to be the cat or the mouse. So
I ought to be the snake instead. Forget the cat and mouse. Snake will just wait for you to watch. When you get to this zone, it catch you, go back into hiding. Like, okay, I got you.
That's what it is. So I'm going to end it right here.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy this conversation because this is something we tech guys need to have time to collaborate, to sit down, talk, discuss. Because this, of all things, cybersecurity, if you're not up on it, you need to be up on it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's why I started this podcast. Like, we could talk about this. We could talk to things like this to the business owner to say, hey, there are solutions out there. You know, you just got to start having that conversation. And, but I'm definitely gonna start doing this. Like right now, schedule permits. I'm only doing this pretty much just once a month.
No problem.
But, you know, when it gets better, I'm going to try to do it at least twice, but right now it's just once a month. I get it out there, you know, I edit it, chop it down to what's viable. So, Olaiya, where
can you find me?
Yeah, where can they find you?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on LinkedIn.com, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. If you go to LinkedIn.com, you look up my full name, David Olaiya again, you will find me there. Same thing in Facebook, same thing in Instagram. I keep it simple. I'm still working on my YouTube channel because besides IT, I talk about other stuff as well, like concerning the family and other arenas I may be familiar with. I'm working on my Twitch. I have a Twitch, but I haven't got it fully set up. But LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram are the main three right now. My YouTube channel not yet up yet. When I get it up, I'll put it out there. To all the small business owners, besides cybersecurity, we need to start talking about what kind of PC you need to get. I understand it's good to be mobile.
Yeah.
But there's a good benefit of having a custom-made PC. And trust me, it will save you a whole lot of buck. Put it out there like that. Other than that, I'm the one and only PC junkie. It is what it is.
All right. Folks, you can find me at pretty much all of my social media is the same. That's NxusCloud. That's NxusCloud Inc. Same on LinkedIn, Instagram. YouTube channel is up. I'm going to be getting more videos out as soon as possible. LinkedIn is up. I'm basically under the same name on all social medias. You're looking for a consultation, my link is available, and we'll try to get more information out to you as soon as we can. All right.